track. We got the new the Ford Everest Sport, and we got the Beast Rhino 1 in Rhino 1, 4 litres of raw sex appeal. So we're going to go old school against new school out here in beautiful Western Cape. It's going to get on, only on Africa sideways. First obstacle of the day, ladies and gentlemen. I got the wrong tires for the job.
This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, it does indeed, man.
Yeah, it is quite amazing. I mean, look at the misalignment here.
That's not ideal.
That's not.
You wouldn't get that on the Prado.
That's not what you'd expect from a Japanese or a German.
Oh, German. Just our own German cars.
Well, maybe the German cars of yore.
Oh, the 80s, the 90s, and all that has just been unreliable.
Yeah, they just cost a lot of money. That's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take on the wall of death.
Yeah, low range for sure.
Diff lock. You're going to put your diff on. Let's see how the Prado gets up here, ladies and gentlemen. Easy pickings for the. I have to give it a bit of radio Joe. Easy pickings, Governor.
That was fun and interesting.
All roll into one.
Impressed with the Ford, I must say.
But that's a boots it a bit with highway tyres, you know.
Yeah, and with 20-inch rims, highway tires, that was pretty well done.
Yeah. She got up there, no frills, no fuss.
Yeah.
2-year guaranteed markup. Kwaliteit. Yeah, I had to give it a bit of mamba, but she got over there. Tonight we drink.
Got myself into real trouble now. She's reversing down there. Fucking hell. That would be scary as hell. Well, this looks okay. On this side, no, you're fine. You're going to drop a little bit, but you're fine.
No problem for the Prado. Managing to keep up with the Everest. Never a dull moment, yeah. Loving the off-road track in the new Everest. Doing a patented 45-point turn here. Come to the end of the track. Gonna turn around. Rhino one's using all of his. I'm in the trees already. Or should I go backwards? First obstacle of the day and the boys are all over the shop. To make an egg, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you got to do it like a 3-point turn.
Oh shit. Can't see anything on that.
Okay, let me check that wheel for you. Yeah, you got half a meter my side. Plenty of space my side. Keep the sharp turn. Okay, now go back a bit. Sharp. Yeah, you should do it. Your one wheel might go a little bit. You can do another straighten up if you want. You got plenty of room this side, loads of room. Swing, swing. Okay, you're going to lose this time, but just drive through it.
Sure.
Or you can straighten up if you're worried.
Yeah.
Just correct by about half a meter. There you go. Okay, now swing hard. Gooi bokkie. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, well just drive through it. Yeah, I pushed you over there, Chuck. Alright, so we got more than we bargained for there, geezer.
Yeah, that got real.
That got real quick. Alright, down we go. Oh yeah. You see, adventure as we were saying, you can't script this shit. Adventure will find you. Oh, fuck! Aye, aye, aye.
No pain, no gain.
Yes, it did.
In the YouTube vlogging game.
Yes, it's China.
We'll have to take something for the pain very soon.
Yes. Alright, well, close enough. On the funny boat.
Ons kan dit nie doen nie. Kyk nou net.
Kyk nou net. Ons is terug, Jan.
No, that was
Jeez,
that was
the
the
old
real
girl,
deal, eh?
the old girl got up there, no worries.
No fuss. She does it very quietly and controlled.
Yeah.
But I think it's also because she's got a brilliant traction control system.
Exactly. And the center diff, I think a center diff is better than a rear diff. I mean, it's a bit of an out there statement.
Yeah, look, I think if you've got both, brilliant.
Yeah.
But if you have a center diff and a really good traction control system, you can go very far. Then it's only clearance that'll stop you eventually.
100 cement.
Phew.
So old versus new on this nice tricky hill. Call that a draw. I mean, I know the Americans don't like draws, but we're calling that a draw. Old versus new.
I'd also call it a draw. That did really well.
Exactly, with little Mari Biscuit Michael Schumacher tires on.
Yeah,
you
just
know,
had to give it a bit of welly.
Bit of welly, and she's going.
It did it. Yeah.
I really like this engine. It's just in the wrong car. it's a goer though. It's a goer. It goes all day long. So far so good. Tires are holding up. I like Goodyear. I mean, you've also running Goodyear. I mean, they're really a premium fucking brand.
They're great. I don't miss the BFGs, to be honest.
No.
You always have this idea with BFGs that they're super tough, and they are.
Yeah.
But you pay a bit of a penalty when you're riding on wet tarmac, and it's noisier. It feels like you have less grip on tarmac. And I mean, we use our 4x4s, but even so, we spend a lot of time just on the road.
95%.
Yeah, especially with your kids and everything.
But that 5% of the time you're on gravel, you want a solid techie.
You want a strong all-terrain.
Exactly.
And I think these are just the thing.
I heard an interesting thing. My buddy's got a Jimny with Bridgestones that he takes to Tankwa, Northern Cape, and he hasn't had one puncture.
Oh, really?
And he puts it down to weight.
I think that counts for a heck of a lot, and I think tire pressure on those Tankwa roads, because I did that Tanqua Road in a Volkswagen Polo
Yeah.
with low profiles,
Yeah.
and I didn't deflate,
Yeah.
and I drove as fast as I wanted, and it was
Yeah.
no problem. I think it's almost being over prepared. If you
All these
deflate
big heavy. If you put another half a ton on this
that's
truck,
also true. The Polo
all
weighs
that weight
half as
comes
much
down
as this.
onto this.
Yeah, or if you've got something larger, a Land Cruiser weighs 2.5 tons.
That's
A Polo
200,
weighs a
so
ton.
just a little bit over the top.
No, you're right. I think it might be the weight. Oh, they're completely over the top. Who needs them? But I mean, imagine you had a 200 now. You'd be in. You'd need a spotter, and you'd still might be in serious trouble
You'd
because
run out of road.
it was just too. When you couldn't swing in there, it was just too big.
Exactly.
So
Sounds like a Dutch porno.
size does count.
Well, sometimes lack of size
Yeah.
counts.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of the time, it's with 4x4. It's not what you got; it's what you can do with it.
Yeah.
And clearance.
And knowing
Center different
where the
clearance
limits
will
are.
take you a long way in life.
Yeah, look, it's all about traction and clearance. And I mean, we'd all like a little bit more clearance.
Yeah.
But that will also affect the way it drives on the open road and your family road trips and all that kind of thing. So it's always a bit of a hedonistic
A
calculus. you know?
juxtaposition. In terms of clearance, maybe the back end of yours is hanging a bit, but I'd say the Everest almost edges it on rear departure.
It does, because it's at an angle here.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I
So you
say.
must
They
be
thought
hitting
about
more
it.
there.
Yeah.
And also the front of the car is quite a short, stubby nose. So, well, I
Yeah.
suppose yours is almost stubbier. So,
Yeah, I think there's very little in it. I think mine's got a little bit of a better approach angle.
yeah,
That's got a better departure angle.
exactly.
And they probably have very similar breakover angles. Only thing is this thing comes standard with steel plate,
Bash
all-
plates.
bash plates at the bottom.
Does
Yeah.
this have standard
Mild
bash
steel,
plates?
but still steel.
And here, do we have any steel to talk about? Oh, there is a steel bash plate at the front.
Not bad, Ford.
But they've got a trick with these bash plates that they only paint the outside and not the inside, so you don't have a
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
Driving on the gravel here, it's extremely smooth. With just low profile tyres on, it still soaks up the bumps very well indeed. Very impressed with this particular vehicle. Leisure off-road. As you can see, we did some tricky sections there and didn't falter once. I'm impressed with these Goodyear efficiency tyres as well. They do the business. performing very well on the off-road track now. No dramas. How's the old girl doing?
She's great.
She loves this kind of thing.
I've got this center diff locked, so we're in true 4x4, high range, and just happy.
So we got to the top of Dead Man's Path.
Ford Sport, whatever that one's called, Greg.
Oh, it's lekker, dude. But I didn't manage to get my girdle up on the stilt there, dude. Because
No,
much more sexy.
that wasn't intentional, but it worked.
So we got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Rhino 1 is leaving the country and
Off to Ireland.
off to Ireland. But in 2 years' time, that you can see a woman plan that. No dude plans anything 2 years ahead of time. Unless it's going to the World Cup. So to the Irish, you're going to be having a Rhino on your doorsteps, boys.
Couple of little scratches on here, but it's held up very well. This counts for a lot here.
Oh yeah, we needed that badge plate saved us.
Yeah, also
Well done, Ford. You made a tough truck here. It's able to keep up with the Prado 120, which is really as good as it gets.
that does say a fair bit, I must say.
That's why your car's almost like the gatekeeper. You know, it's the Alistair Overeem of the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Good old overroids.
Overroids. Yeah.
But it looks a lot
Before
better.
and after overroids.
But it looks a lot better with a bit of muck on it.
It really does.
The transfer.
That whole Tupperware vibe is far less now.
The Tupperware queen.
Yeah. No, they put some thought into it.
Exactly.
I'm impressed.
Beautiful. So how many years old is your car now?
So the Prado is 2005, so 16 years old. 260,000 on the clock.
And was this the genesis of most of the 7-seaters you see on the road today?
I think so, even though this is an 8-seater.
I'm getting the Caravelle next week, and that's a 7-seater, so this is an 8-seater.
Yeah, so I pay even more for my license disc than the Caravelle does, because you pay per seat.
And how much do you pay to license it?
It's about 1,100 rand.
And you can convert that into euros when you go to Ireland.
Yeah. Over there, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
So yeah, well the main point was longevity. What's this truck going to look like in 16 years time?
Yeah, I mean, how many 16-year-old 260,000 kilometer Fords do you see on the road? I mean, some, but
The old Rangers, perhaps.
the old Ranger, yeah. But if you think how many Prado 120s you see on the road,
A lot.
still more than the Prado 150.
Yeah.
Even though the Prado 150 has been in production for a much longer time now. So did I.
You shouldn't. Yeah, you hit the same thing on the left.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a death sentence for you.
No.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, this is the problem with low profile tyres. We got the first puncture. I wonder if we had a second puncture whether your spare would even fit on these rims.
Not a chance. I've got a tyre puncture repair kit, so if you get another puncture, just make sure it's not on the sidewall.
Okay, cool, no problem. You reckon that we couldn't even plug that on the sidewall?
In a huge emergency, you could maybe use 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But it's really iffy.
Yeah.
A road wheel, 257.
What size is your spare? 17 inch?
Yeah.
That would fit on.
I don't think it'll clear the calipers, eh?
No, 17 will.
I'm not sure.
This cut does come up with 17 inch rims.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's still better if we use...
No, definitely. Yeah. I'm saying if I do another one.
Oh, fuck, yeah. No, fair enough. Yes.
Yes, I'm thinking ahead, yeah.
Note, if the spare wheel is not the same type and size as your vehicle road wheel, drive the shortest distance possible.
Yes.
That's like Eskom saying to you, make sure that you can find alternative sources of electricity.
Exactly, because our fucking thing's cocked.
Yeah. So it looks like you get it from the back here. Lower the third seat back to assist spare wheel winch operation.
Okay, so
oh, it's in here. It's in here.
yeah.
And then
Is it that guy
I think
there?
it's that. Yeah. Pull that up, and then
And probably one of those doinkies I gave you earlier.
Yeah, I'll bring you the doinkies.
Nice. It's technical, yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck.
Yellow.
You can see why I never shined it in technical drawing at school.
2 writers trying to work out.
Yeah. Okay, let's at least we can read and follow instructions.
Oh, we can read.
Lift rubber cover, check.
Yeah.
Insert the assembled wheel brace and winch extension tool into the guide hole. Assembled wheel brace and winch extension tool. Nou, is dit hierdie... Dit seker hierdie fucking goed.
Yeah, exactly.
How the hell?
Oh yeah, there's one little guy in there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's... Ah!
Kyk nou net.
That's so...
Through deduction. Deduction, eh? We are getting it. Yes, yeah, okay. There we go.
It's complex.
Well, I guess you only do this once.
Well, hopefully only
And then
once.
you give the Ford back and you never have to do it again.
Well, hopefully, gee, that's they're able to jinx shit, dude.
Yeah.
This tire looks like it's been used before.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
I'm sure they must have punctures all the time with these things.
I guess so. Look, I've got a kit if we need to use it, but that's like a last resort.
Do you reckon it won't
I think not on the sidewall, really.
it's a goner. Looks like it's on the ground.
Is it?
A beautiful spot for the tire change. We've got new rubber on, ready to rock and roll. But I must say, what is the point of having low range and diff lock if you've got low profile tires?
Yeah. I mean, the car's been doing really well.
Very, very capable.
But if it just had not 20-inch rims
Yeah.
and all-terrain tires.
We'd be at camp already. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the road. The Everest has been a hell of a truck. Tires let us down on the off-road, but that's no foul on the truck. Still a good piece. And we'll catch you next time on Africa Sideways.
Oh, look who's here! I was just looking at this very fine looking book.
And it's Mr. Hoyt available. New pharmacy, Mighty Small Kids, Present Drop, Amazon, Ingram. You got no
Cheers to
fucking
that.
excuse. Get it.